I want you to think about the word generational real quick, okay? Think about that word. And then think about UFC title runs. Combine them together, you get generational UFC title runs. And listen, man, throughout the years, we have had some insane fucking title runs. But only some of them can be generational. Okay, so let's get straight into it. Starting off with, we are currently living through a generational title run, okay? Whether you like it or not, Alex Pereira at light heavyweight is generational, okay? That the thing is, we're talking about this title run. It's like everything that's been done in this title run has been over the course of 11 months. He won the belt November 2023. His last fight was October 2024. Okay, so in the space of 11 months, this guy's got 3 title defenses against 2 former champions. Okay, this guy literally saved the year. 2024 will go down as Alex Pereira's fucking year. Okay, and I'm sorry to have a champ like he's literally the face of the UFC right now. How can you say it's not generational? You know what I'm saying? This guy has. I honestly went from a guy who wasn't like in the top like 25 to a top 10 UFC fighter all time. That's all because of this title run, which has only took place over the course of a year. Okay, and it's the manner of the fights as well. You know, entertaining fights, KOs, domination. We've had the War versus Khalil. He saved pay-per-views. This is the definition of generational. And then we move on to a bit of an old head pick, okay? With an old head pick real quick. It's Robbie Lawler, okay? Damn, man. I wish I was here to witness this, okay? This guy gets booted from the UFC. He then fights in various promotions, the biggest one being Strikeforce. 10 years later, he comes back to the UFC after being cut. 10 years later, you know, he picks up some wins. He gets a title shot versus Johnny Hendricks for the for the vacant belt. He loses in a great fight, but he says fuck it. He gets 2 wins. He then fights Johnny Hendricks again in an absolute war fight of the year contender. He then has possibly the greatest fight of all time versus Rory McDonald. Okay, obviously the fight of the year, and then he has another fight of the year contender versus Carlos Condit, and then even in the manner in which he lost the belt, he lost first round KO. That in itself is entertaining. So if we look at Robbie Lawler, his title run consisted of 3 fight of the year candidates, one of them maybe being the best fight of all time. Bro, come on, man, that's generational. That's generational. Okay, now we move on to, bro, the fucking aura. Oh my god. Oh my god, man. I'm glazing Usman and I do not care. Okay. Kamaru Usman had such a fucking mystique about him when he was champion. Okay. Not when he first started, but by the end of it, bro, this guy aura was off the charts. He had 2 fight of the year candidates versus Colby Covington. He had a boring fight versus Masvidal, but he fucking squished him. It may be one of the greatest KOs we ever saw. And then he has an absolute barn burner with Gilbert Burns. Okay. Throughout this entire time, he's just got fucking aura. And then he fights Leon, and even in the way that he lost the belt, just like Robbie Lawler, was entertaining. Now listen, fuck Leon Edwards. I don't like him. That moment of the day is pretty bad for me, because I'm a big Usman fan. I'm not a Leon fan. Okay, I think Leon ruined the division, to be entirely honest with you. I'm glad he's gone. But everything about Usman's title reign was perfect, except from the Hawaii fight, man. Generational. Okay, we're getting our belt back 2025. Now we move on. Love him, hate him. This is the title run. Like, this is the most generational title run we've ever saw, and honestly, like, there's nothing you can say about it. Okay, Conor McGregor from 2014 to 2017, 2016 was the definition of generation. He had the most exciting, we'll see when, next person comes up, but he had one of the most exciting title runs of all time, definitely the biggest, and he was beating good guys his way up. Chad Mendes, Poirier, those are great fucking wins, okay? And then he wins the belt in 13 seconds. 13 seconds. That's just crazy. And if you want, we can even extend it to 2016 time, where he went on his lightweight run. You could even extend it to that. The definition of generational is Conor McGregor's title run. Then, god damn, man. 2021. Charles Oliveira was a thing to witness, man. It was fucking beautiful. Every single one of this guy's fights, he got fucked up in. Okay, and it was a beautiful watch. He got knocked down versus Chandler. He got knocked down versus Dustin. Got knocked down versus Gaethje. But what ended up happening in the end, he fucking finished all of them. Every single one of them. Charles was so fucking exciting. And this came like just after Khabib, and people were comparing Charles to Khabib a lot of the time. That was a very interesting comparison. Hasn't aged too well, but is what it is. But these fights were so fucking entertaining, man. Okay, Charles Oliveira might be the most entertaining. I think it's the most entertaining title run I personally witnessed. Big up, fucking 2021 to 2022 Charles Oliveira, man. Big up. For a little man, bro, the aura was off the charts. Okay. When Deiveson Figueiredo first won the belt, I was convinced that this guy was gonna go on to be flyweight gold. I didn't give a fuck about Demetrius. I didn't give a fuck, bro. Deiveson Figueiredo, when he first won the belt, was a monster, man. A monster. He had the most dominant performance in UFC history, in my opinion, that I've witnessed, versus Joseph Benavidez. Killed the man. I thought Benavidez died. And then he just defends his belt 3 weeks later casually and gets a first round submission. Okay, at that point I'm thinking this guy can't be beat. This guy is an impossible fighter. Then he does go on to have a war versus Brandon Moreno, which kind of, I was like, damn, this guy can lose. And then he ended up losing, and then we had Brandon Moreno, who I don't like. But Deiveson Figueiredo, honestly thought this guy was going to go undefeated. Genuinely. Watch Anderson Silva versus Forrest Griffin. They'll explain everything.